Okay. Everything seems good to go. Greetings, everyone, to whoever may be watching. But yes, we'll be playing Disco Elysium tonight. This is my second playthrough of the game. Originally I did do a like an intellectual cop, but this time I'm like I'll show you. So I've got reasonably high physique, but like mainly motorics. I've got a little bit in psyche, but almost nothing in intellect, which is like almost the exact opposite of what I had before. So I thought it'd be fun to see what sort of story I would have with the result with this sort of this play style, and it's been super fun. Like seriously, like I'm so glad I actually did the second playthrough as a result of this. But yeah, let's get going. So what have I got? What quest do I have here? I gotta find Clausier's boy. Ask about Ruby in the village. The washerwoman is hiding something. Look around. The working class woman you met in front of the bookstore admitted that her husband is missing. Chances are the guy is drinking somewhere with his buddies. Find him and bring him home if possible. And then find Morel. There's some other quests that pop up throughout the time here. For those who may or may not be watching, this is like the second... It's almost like the second part of Disco Elysium. So, yeah, I don't. If you haven't played this game before, then this may come as a bit of a little bit starting off in the middle, but you should be okay. All right, so let's just explore. Actually, no, wait. I think in here there's something important. I think there's a little girl in here that. Ooh. Not like outside. Hello, mister. A young girl, barely 4 or 5 years old, sits on the sofa. She is looking at you with frank curiosity. She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around. Do you know anyone named Ruby? 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 Suddenly, the girl gets all serious and leans in, as if she's about to tell you a secret. My mom tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can say l or like. Sometimes I can, but then l. Kids. The lieutenant shakes his head. Are you Lillian's daughter? Yes, I am. Little Lily. She gazes at you with her big eyes. You know my mom? Yes, we met earlier. That's nice. My mom is great. She nods. She's never angry or anything. What's that? Points to the stuffed animal on the wall. It's a grouse, she yelps, smiling broadly. You might be able to get onto Gart's good side if you replace the broken skewer you almost certainly broke. Can I have it? I know someone who really likes stuffed animals. Alright, you just need to go and grab it from the ceiling. Point at her toy. It's Lammy. She's my friend. Sort of. Like, she holds the fuzzy beast up to her to demonstrate. Lammy is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing and the fur is tattered in several parts. Lammy looks soft. Yes, very soft. Suddenly, she pushes the stuffed animal towards your face. Press your cheek against Lammy. Aw, healed morale. Excellent. Goodbye. Bye! Alright. What can I do to try and grab... Oh, I can just grab it. Cool. There's no check involved or anything. Oh, that's that. Oh yeah, because I did break the bird, but I don't think I addressed Gart about it earlier on. So let's have a look around. Let's just go down here. Actually, oh, I could talk to the drunks. Yeah, I needed to walk around and talk to the drunks. Actually, can I go up here? Oh. A drop in temperature, an easy flow of air, an empty street before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries, no more drivers smoking on hitch steps, just silence. What did the smoke smell like? chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. An elm tree watches over the building. Its branches are dripping with snow and rain. The road is smooth and motley, craters filled with black asphalt. The asphalt first laid is grey already. The row of tenements are under the construction in the distance. Who are the people who lived across the road? A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio transmits the lottery numbers 4, 18, 21, 4, and 1. A modern washing machine rattles a drawer full of silverware. What about the bus stop? Number 312D. Young girls used to come here, huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to the school. It has not run for 8 years. There were not enough girls to sustain its cost. What about the road? Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in them. The landowners have filled the crater with money. It is a vital artery of flow of trade. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200 paces away, right at the turn. A dead dog? Tragedy came from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle. Oh, I wonder if that's Kim or me. Hurrying to work, the cold washes over you. The sound of the sea has grown distant. That's enough. The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier. A breeze moves a curl in his hair. That's one thing I gotta say is that the shivers skill it's a little bit curious because sometimes I don't. There are some good moments where it like provides a bit more context to the setting that you're in, but overall sometimes I don't see how it's like super useful sometimes. There is one point in the game where it is super useful, I remember that, but other than that, like, it just kind of tells you what the city's like. Oh, I forgot to get the... I'll be right back. I don't know how this is gonna work. Let me have a look. Yeah, it works kind of. Cool. Quite ridiculous. Alright, back to it. So, got a couple of these drunks here. Let's see what they have to say.
Hey, tequila!
A 30-something man clad in two-piece Lycra TM tracksuit puts down his Pilsner and extends his hand in greeting.
Good to see ya. How's business? How's the old reality situation treating ya?
Shake his hand.
So what's happening?
Wait, tequila?
Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
Not too hard. I'm on a 50-year losing streak. Reality makes me aggressively sad. Don't know. People tell me I'm a cop. I'm getting used to that. Let's see, but someone has joined the stream apparently. Alright, cool. Don't know. People tell me I'm a cop. I'm getting used to that. I have re-entered reality to conquer it, to bend it to my will. I am the law. I don't know. I like that.
That's the spirit. I used to shape reality into my image a long time ago, but these days are over now. Sadly, things ain't going that well in Idiot Doomspire land. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of arse back. No word from my business buddies.
Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around here lately? Can't really remember seeing any woman after losing my keys. It's a touchy topic. He hasn't gotten laid in ages. He really has no idea who this Ruby is, sire. What do you guys do around here? We are saving the world! He looks at his comrades. Please, please don't call... Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower, but that didn't work out. So now it's the pirate's life for me. What is a tequila sunset? You keep saying it. It's you! You're Tequila Sunset. How do you know this? We've met before, don't you remember? No. Aha! He takes a sip from his beer. Don't you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be? Go ahead. Let's take a sip to moisten my accords. Same here. Oh, I need to swap over to... There? Cool. Alright. Tequila Sunset rolled on to Martinez last Friday. And by Tequila Sunset, I mean you, the man, the myth. Wait, did we meet on Friday? Hey, let's not jump ahead ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. He takes another sip, then continues. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get pissed drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept if you ask me. Does that sound like something you do? Yeah, probably. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can. What happened then? It was late Saturday night, when we, the Union of the Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We got our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed up by a series of dings and bangs. Do you remember the sound of wood cracking, the billboard? Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in. Naturally. Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic. What we saw was a sight to behold. I would watch my man. Novum the Reasonable Gamer is in the chat. All good, thanks. What we saw was a sight to behold. The beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs. The time hath come! So naturally, being the curious cat I am... Fuck this hat. So naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, the time hath come for Tequila Sunset! The end of all things! Say nothing. It's more dignified that way. Every word I said was true. Tequila Sunset will break the looms of reality. Say nothing. It's more dignified that way. I don't know. This one sounds pretty good. Yeah, looms. Why not? Then you jammed the pedal and plowed right off the jetty and through the ice. The muscles in your right leg tense up. Your hands cramp on the steering levers. We ran towards the ice, whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt. Covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. Oh, hello there, Poppet. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in your car. It was too late to get in there, though. And the carriage had sunk too deep. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. What else was there to do? Thank you, brothers, for your helping hand. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now, and you insisted we all call you that from now on. Wait, so is Tequila Sunset an event or a name? Tequila Sunset, huh? That sounds pretty cool. That's not my name. I'm Raphael Ambrosius Costo, and that's what you should call me. Nah, that name sucks. Your tequila sunset. Just embrace it, brother. How long did we party for? Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you really bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying a word. Wow, that's quite the story. Yeah, I bet. Tequila's a fucking legend around this precinct. You must be proud to work with him. If only you knew. Did I tell you anything specific about this person that fucked me? You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that that we've all been fucked too. No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here. Abigail. It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit. Did I mention losing anything else? Did I say anything about my colleagues? Did I say anything about the case? Did we talk about, politics? Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking us all over and that woman that fucked you over. I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes sure everyone gets exactly what they deserve. He takes a long sip of his beer. How'd you get the read on what kind of cop I was? You kept calling yourself a goddamn superstar who cleared 501 cases. As you've already determined, the actual number is just over 200. But what's a little embellishment between friends? No thanks to the squares at the precinct, as you put it. Did I say anything about my colleagues? You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style. It's more like you were cramping theirs. No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were star of the show. Did I mention losing anything else? Besides your gun and your badge? You said something about your hope, your heart, or something. And to be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too. That's a big one. I don't need to hear any more. He nods. It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs. You seem like you're characterized by your storytelling ability. You want to tell me another one sometime? Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller, he says, slapping his knee. Right, why not? Better than some beach bum. Yes. Want to tell me about how you became Idiot Doom Spiral? It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out? The gleam in his eyes and the slouch of his posture is so incredibly familiar. You might get scammed here. I have a feeling this is going to cost me a lot. You want booze, don't you? His eyes light up. I don't want it, man. I need it. Can't tell stories without it. Dry stories are boring, you see. So, have you got anything good old Idiot Doom Spiral to have? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me. I've got some sweet Commodore Red. I usually do use the alcohol for things, but, maybe I can go buy some more. But I don't want to give you any of my alcohol. I might have more use for it. I might offend him. Let's do it. Classy. He snatches the bottle and pushes the cork in through the bottleneck. Before he can start, one of the other bums interjects. Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that? Don't call Abigail! Shut up, you guys. I'm telling a story here. He turns to you. Something happened to you. Something happened to me. 2. My actual name is George, but around here, you already know. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual. A founder/junior partner at a high concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed a major contract with an insurance firm. Go on. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, high concept stuff. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but then the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me, so I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane. Wait, how many people did you have working for you? Did the jogging help? It did. With my trusty Sansarik tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit, he says thoughtfully, brushing dust off his shit-stained pants. What happened? One day I left for my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets. He shakes the bottle and makes a ringing sound. His eyes are clouded, his dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles. So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets, to stop them jangling, you see. At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet very quickly. How wet are we talking exactly? Wet, okay? It was raining really hard. There's a trace of derision in his voice. On my way back to home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I mixed it up with the other key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass. I would have landed on my feet. I've got feline reflexes. Whatever. The point is, reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard, standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, and realized that I'd also forgotten my apartment key. You've got to be shitting me. He turns his head towards the skies and says, I wish I were Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the office. Okay, so what happened next? I rang my neighbors, buzzers. It was late. Most of them didn't answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain my situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment they chat you up, 5 minutes later you bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best. He pauses meaningfully. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Just then I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached the office, I remembered that I asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it. And I couldn't get it. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gone to my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this? He pinches his thigh as if to check whether his reality is the reality. So now you heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've heard of before, huh? He takes a long swig with his drink. Wait, is that it? I feel like there are some more steps missing. I've been a hobo cup for a few days now, but it doesn't seem so bad. Look on the bright side. You've got one hell of a story. You do realize all of this is your own fault? I literally can't believe it. I don't know, this one seems pretty... This one seems pretty good. I've been a hobo cup for only a few days now. The hobo lifestyle definitely has some perks. Not having to pay for rent, first and foremost. Not being responsible for 20 other people is also nice too. But that charm wears off pretty quickly. Before you know it, you're wearing a shit-stained tracksuit and spending a day's drinking tear. Why do you keep losing all your stuff? Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on the beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece lycra tracksuit? I used to own my own reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agencies. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass, but somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hold on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks. You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with. What's this about a lost jacket? Tequila. It's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, I didn't really want to go with my lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. He looks at you, bleary-eyed. Say you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila? Wait, you're asking a police officer to offer help to find a jacket you stole and then lost? Okay, sure. Where'd you lose it? If I knew where I'd lost it, don't you think I would have found it? I mean, maybe I was up by the boardwalk, or walking along the beach, or checking out the abandoned fish market. That's a lot of places. Somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask around, see if anyone's seen it. What's up with the tracksuit? What? You've never seen 100% leak rate before? Go on, feel that primo material. The man extends his arm. You really shouldn't touch it. Ooh. High interface. Oh, what? Oh, I succeeded, but I lost morale? Oh, okay then. Good God, it's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel about 15% less human for having touched it. And then there's the smell, but you don't even want to think about that. Pretty nice, huh? This one might be one of its kind. Should probably be in a museum, honestly. He takes another sip. Well, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it. That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You can wash them sometime. Be seeing you. You too, Tequila Sunset. So now I have a quest to find a jacket. Alright. Let's explore up north. So let's see. I did get someone pop in. So, whoop. A little black swallow circles you above you. Hear it chirp. Let's have an explore. The beams are splintered. The bridge didn't collapse on its own. Artillery broke it. There's always this reference to the war that happened in Ravershaw to show how this place was blasted to smithereens. It's always interesting to see. Alright, let's see what's on here. Ooh, I remember this. Oop. Oversized superstar sunglasses! Where is it? Man, I have so much more clothes than my last playthrough. Yeah. Oh, but what do the other ones give me? Empathy and logic. This one gives me more savoir-faire and visual calculus. Minus visual calculus. How's that look? Shit. Man. Anyway. Alright, get back to it. No bird in the boathouse today. Alright, let's have a look through here. Boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench, covered in rust. Oh! Wicked. Ah, damn it. My visual calculus is rubbish. I can't do this. Look, Kim, even more bullet holes. Something's definitely gone down here. Correct. The lieutenant examines the wall closely. The density of the bullet holes is unusual. Even in the general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez sense, GriffinMuffin's, meaning this is a lot of bullet holes. He brushes the wall with his hand. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days. Why not? The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles are curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in this world. Good old Kim. Sign says, inter, damn it, no, I'm bad at French. An old ticket taker booth, no longer in operation. Hey, what was that? The boards crack dangerously as you run. Be careful here. Aye! Tear! That's my son playing with some Lego. A door, a building, a hiding place. Could the instigator be inside? There's no way the perp is in here, officer. Just look at how scarred the how scarred the boards are. All attempts to pry them off have failed. Yeah, I'll try and get some. I'm actually thinking of doing a cosplay of Harry Dubois, the main character here, for PAX next year. Can I try to get in? Can I try to get in though? Not this time. The opposition is insurmountable. But I like the spirit. I like the spirit. Have some points. It's lonely and cold without points. Kim, you think she's in here? The suspect? God, I hope not. I can't see a way in. He inspects the bars, though many have tried. So she's not here. Oh, there's a box! Ah, but it ruins my... It lowers perception. My perception is 11. I can't get rid of that. But in the worst case scenario, when I really do need logic, which what's my logic at? 1. Yeah, it's like intellect base 1, learn skills is 1, and I get a minus from. I think it's from. Which one gives me minus intellect? Some kind of superstar. Yeah, -1 logic. As you can see, I've done the full-on superstar playthrough, and it's been pretty fun. It's very different though. Like you don't get a sense of like the massive like what's really happened in the world. You kind of just get this sort of very shallow, sort of very material sort of feeling of the world. It's interesting how there's the cryptozoologist.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam. Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officer.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. It looks like your understanding of his science.
Is that the police? Why's the police here?
I don't know why this guy sounds like he's like in an echo chamber or something, but...
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Ah, of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn waterlock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Yeah, that was me. I broke the water lock with my motor carriage. But it's fixed now. You can go back.
You broke the waterlock with the motor carriage? But there was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle, it said Samaran Butter.
No, see, I jumped over the canal in my motor carriage, tearing through the Samaran Butter sign, which fell into the canal, blocking the gates. I used the pawn shop as a launch ramp.
Why?
Because I needed to drive into the ocean. Because I'm insane. It was an experiment to gauge the Capri 40's aerial performance. I'm something of a gentleman scientist.
Scientist? Yes, okay. But you said the waterlock is fixed now, so we can go back.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary, we can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the Phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work. Tell me more about these traps. Well, he points at the cage of mesh and wiring on the ground. They may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, and I'm sure that they'll do just the trick. Lena designed the traps? Yes, he says with some pride. How do the traps work? Simple. Attracted by the locust, the Phasmid crawls down from the funnel, and having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton. Why? What are you using as bait? Locusts! He gestures towards the trap. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course, but we've hypothesized that the insulindian. Shit. Insulindian. There we go. Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects. Inside the trap, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny chittering swarm. What will you do if these traps don't work? They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis using locusts as bait accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which used plants. We have given this some thought. The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing. Let me ask about something else. Yes, what? Let's see. I don't want to... I'll just get to the point. I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs of insect activity. I'm less disinterested in mammalian concerns, to be perfectly honest. The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook, then gestures for you to proceed. Tell me about the phasmid you're looking for. Well, first off, it's all been damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it. What makes it so difficult to find? Good question. Being a phasmid of the highest order of Phantasmodia, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as a plant matter, in this case, the reeds. He looks around. Awful like the reeds around here, aren't they? And I suspect it may be also because of developed special... sorry. And I suspect it may also have developed other specialized techniques to protect itself from predators or scientists in our case. What sort of specialized techniques is this phasmid using to hide itself? It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen. Why are you so interested in this stick bug? Aren't there more sensational animals to find out there? What have you discovered about it so far? Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third hand accounts. So no one's ever found one? Not yet. He holds up an index finger. That's what makes it a cryptid. The lieutenant interjects. Just out of curiosity, is there no proof of its existence? How do you know it's real? I know it's real, the cryptozoologist says, brusquely, enough that even he says taken aback by it. By which I mean, he says, gathering himself, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than just mere superstition. What makes you think the phasmid is here in Martinez? There was an incredible sighting here recently. A pair of teenagers described a creature that matched the Insulindian phasmid to an uncanny degree. What time is it? Is he going down for a nap? Yeah, he must be going down for a nap. You know, his sleep time anyway. Alright. Happy birthday to me. There was an incredible sighting here recently. A pair of teenagers described a creature that matched the Insulindian phasmid to an uncanny degree, despite not knowing what it was themselves. Shit, what do I look like? Alright, cool, no worries. Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out? The cryptozoologist shakes his head vigorously. I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it is generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis. Okay. Capable of breeding by itself, huh? Okay. Got it. Parthenosis. Parthenogenesis, he corrects, meaning the females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions. That's pretty clever. Yes, the Insulundian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I try my best to remain dispassionate. There's nothing dispassionate about the way he talks about the insect. Lana seems pretty eager for you to return. And I'm eager to return for her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. He looks south, where Lena would be. My wife understands that just as well as anyone. Come on, Morel, we've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back. And leave the traps. Absolutely not, he yells in response. I won't let Lena down. Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon. Now just go check this. I feel like the hat is slipping. The hat is slipping. This is difficult. Maybe I could put it all the way back here. And then put... Ooh. There we go. Good enough. Where is it? There it is. I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena. Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting on record. One of the only 4 this century, and it's hers. She's seen it? Really? She sighted the phasmid? Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine. Suffice to say, it's been long our dream to find proof the Insulundian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now. Maybe you could come back to the Whirling warm up. Come back to check on the traps later. No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel? I could go for some trap setting. What if we check the traps for you? He looks at you with obvious surprise. I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer. Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar. Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and above all, persistence. What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps? Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight. He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself. What are these traps? What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild? Where are these traps? There are 4 in total. One is to the south, and this one on this little peninsula by the boathouses over there. You punch to the south. It's very near. Another we set in the Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower after the church. The third is set near the canal where you crossed by a concrete slab. The big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them, he gestures to the trap in front of him. You should check at least one of these before returning to this one, since I just set it. This one's more of a technicality, but still better safe than stupid than sorry. That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular adventure? But Kim, maybe our suspect is hiding out in the reeds along with the traps. The man surveys the cold coast. I have a feeling the only people foolish enough to spend their time skulking among the reeds are these poor fools and us. But fine. It's not like we're drowning in the reeds. It's not like we're drowning in leads. What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild? That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, he takes a small spray white can. I'll spray you with pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromones should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last about a week. Lay it on me. He douses you with odd-smelling spray and then gives you a satisfied nod. This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into water. The lieutenant wrinkles his nose. I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious, like holy water. It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research. He looks at the lieutenant with disdain, then puts the spray back into his pocket. I'm ready. Let's get to it. Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the whaling. Finally! Someone's talking sense. Thank you for your help, Gary. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it. If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt? What about his eager to leave friend Gary there? Talk to him too, perhaps. I will. I didn't get to talk to him last time, actually. He's called Gary the Crypto-Fascist? Strange.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer. Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Ooh. Ooh, he called him yellow. Oh dear. Lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man, that sounded awfully familiar, something to keep in mind for later. Yeah, that's what the fascists in this world call the people, well, yeah.
I'm just waiting for my friend
he's a
Morel to
racist.
finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Yeah, I'm more of a city boy too.
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Drunks and degenerates. That's my
Dark
crew.
times will do that to good men.
Do you know anything about the man hanged and behind in the Welling Rags? Oh, so that's what the RCM is in Martinez about. Great. He nods in sincere approval. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that. So you do know something about it. Yeah, that's someone in the comments. Yeah. No, he shakes his head emphatically, then corrects his tie. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary, but everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear that you're looking into it. That's all. He's not feeling very comfy in his shoes, is he? Strange. He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here. Oh, is this his mug? Oh, man. I didn't know this would ever come into... I thought that was just a thing that would, like... Oh, man. Is this your mug? My mug? Why would you think that? His eyes widen at the sight of the mug. He's seen it before, right? You said yellow man. That's not something many people say around here. Really, I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone. Just a minute, man. You put the mug in the trash container behind the whirling. Still seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of the lynching? Wonder if that will be good to say. Oh, what's going on here? I've had some tweets. Yep. Yeah. Maybe. Okay, yes, I did. I shouldn't have. I'm very sorry, officer. He pauses. You're not going to find me, are you? Ooh. I am. Rip out a fine slip. For 100 real. He accepts the slip of copy paper with a bow. Okay, I deserve that. I won't do that again. You have my word. I don't know what I got into me, stuffing my garbage in another man's property. It says I've been having terrible having trouble at work lately. Oh, that's another slur! Jesus. That word. Price dumping us out of competition. Oh, what a cheerful person. What did you do, Gary? Nothing, just answering some questions, helping out the law. Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info. Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the wording rags, into that trash container? Officer, please. He raises both hands. Let me explain. It's not like that. Do. I was only cleaning up. I live right across from the yard from where he was hanged. I saw him stripped naked, all the clothes lying around the yard, smelling, people or animals, you know. Yes, what happened? Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them in the Whirling's trash, along with the broken mug, admittedly. He changes his mind mid-sentence. Okay, I was coming out to throw the mug away, and I threw the mug there, and the clothes too. Right, it was a civic duty, the lieutenant remarks drolly. Exactly! That's exactly what it was! Civic duty! As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll around across the hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where? What's that strange sound? What sound? That clinking I just heard when you moved. Really? He fans his arms out slowly, and this time he motions soundless. There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash, could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby. Every day, the wind shifts the reeds, and whatever has left in them, tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles, the smell of decay. The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned. You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you? Maybe he took it because of the armor. Armor? No. He changes his mind. I mean, yes, of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it. An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing. There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded. Let's move on for now. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to, gonna take some speed, and put on some composure. Any composure-related equipment? Yep, put on that. Do I have any more composure? I don't think I do, actually. No, I think that's the only composure-related thing I have. But I'm gonna take some speed. Let's do this. Yeah, I have 9, so... Take some speed! Whoa! Almost died there. Jesus. Yeah. Let's do this now.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
Yes! That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath it. His massive musculature? No, he's scrawny. Try again. Something worn underneath it? Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example, one that makes a clinking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives. I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear. He freezes, then sighs heavily. I knew you'd figure out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. He unbuttons his shirt. You see gleaming white ceramic armor shine beneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso. I was ashamed of what I did, and I didn't want you to know. We're not detecting falsehoods, sire. He is gearing up to admit the truth. Gary, what's going on here? Later, Morel. I've got apologizing to do. No, you've got explaining to do. The lieutenant's tone is icy. Let me just get changed. Okay. Let's see. Give me the armor now. Why did you really put those clothes in the trash? Why'd you lie to me, Gary? Because I was weak, he says, staring at the nothing in particular. I should have told you from the moment I saw you, but... The hell, Gary? You in trouble? I'll explain later. He doesn't muster up the strength to yell. Give me the armor now. Oh, yeah. But, he sighs again, hangs his head and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. As soon as it's in your hands, the smelling of his sweat, but so light to hold, like a bag of cotton. Why did you really put his clothes in the trash? Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. He looks at his feet. So I went there to take out my trash and started cleaning up. And all those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, he swallows. I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning, no one saw me. I took it off with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it would give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have. His lips start quivering. Fuck. It's okay. The lieutenant jots something down in his notebook. It was a loose end, and now you're tying it up. I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man, he says silently. Seolite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when... He shakes his head. Fucking racists. Are we done here, Gary? Yes, absolutely. I'll never do anything like this again. He looks around, relieved of some burden, his mouth still quivering. You were surprised to see my colleague, Kim Katsuragi. I'm sorry for what I said, he replies and falls silent. Alright, let's leave this fuckhead alone. The soggy, slow smell of ignition fluid and won't light. It's almost impossible to get a fire going this near to the ocean. Have a look at that armor in a second. Here we go. Whoa! Crazy! +1 to pain threshold, +1 to volition. That's great. What's it look like? Oh, I need to take off my jacket. What the... That is a strange looking armor. Yep, wearing it. Let's do this. Mine now. Those heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes, crumbling. Ooh, a cup. I can't believe that it's him. He has the chest piece for this armor. Because like when I first started this playthrough, I actually did want to collect the what's it called? The T500 cuirass, the T500 armor. But I was like, oh, where do I get it from and stuff like this, and I messed up the first playthrough I did because I didn't take the dead man's boots, and it caused my playthrough to bug, where I couldn't get Katsuragi to say goodnight to me and like take the cigarette and brief me on the case. So I thought, oh fuck it, maybe that's what caused the problem. So then I restarted the thing because it was bugged, and I decided maybe it was because I kept the corpse out. Because like you can only take the boots off when Kim Katsuragi is like not around, he's asleep. But now I have the cuirass, so there's that. What can I wear? I mean the pinball coat. Something a bit more open. Yeah, that looks good. It's good stuff. This could be the boy Clausier told you about. A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first, it just looks like trash, but if you look closer, that's that over there. He points to the strange-looking object. That must be the boy Clausia told us about. The one she hid her passport in. We should take a look. Ooh, hidden images, hidden things, secrets and lies. Pick up the boy. You lift the boy out of the water. Without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom appear to have been cut. Examine the plastic bowl. Let's have a look if anything's... No. Okay. The small number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long. It's already discolored and slimy to the slimy with silt. The latch holds it together, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch is cracked. Simple construction, very unsafe. Shake the boy. There's something inside, something splashing around. Sniff the boy. It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast, salt, industrial slop, and decay. And just a dash of hard liquor. Yum. The water this side of the peninsula is clean, actually. Smells a little salty. Open the boy. A shot glass worth of seed oil pulls out, some algae and nothing else. Well, damn. We're lucky it's still here. A little longer it would have floated away. No documents. Who do you think took them? I have no idea. The lieutenant taps his foot, frowning. This is a minor quirk. We should know what was in the boy anyway. We know what was in the boy anyway. This is a disaster! Everything is ruined! This is a minor quirk. We know what was in the boy anyway. He purses his lips. Or think we do. This is a small loose end either way. Not importance, I hope. It must have been Clausia's enemies, which means she's in danger. Could be. We should keep an eye out. He sighs. Nothing for us to do. Nothing more for us to do here. Let's go. We're lucky it's still here. A little longer, it would have floated away. Nah, it doesn't matter. Well, as that looks good. Oh, what's that? Hello. Give me money. Money. Let's explore the rest of the coast, eh? I want to talk to that guy. That guy's boring as hell. Maybe we'll go see the guys on the disco guys on the coast. The rear tire of a motor carriage adorns these reeds. Seriously, playing with high perception is so interesting in this playthrough because you notice way more things. There's a slit in the concrete here. A sewer? A dead phone. A smash receiver like someone hung up too hard. You can't imagine why. Calls become terrible sometimes. Metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone unless you're out of change. Pick up the handset. You hear the tone. The machine is operable. Put 10 cents in and dial a random number. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up. Pierre? Pierre, is that you? The voice is female and sounds about 100 years old. Say, you're not Pierre. Say you're not Pierre. That sounds like a better idea. Yes, it's me, Pierre. It might be. What's Pierre like? No, this is not Pierre. Do you have any news about Pierre? Who is Pierre? He's my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man. But who are you then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame of what you did to our country. I didn't do shit to your country, but anyway, the woman moans on the phone. Moans, and the phone line howls in unison with her. I'm not a salesman. I was just calling a random number, and you somehow ran with it. Yes, I'm a salesman. What exactly did we do to your country? I don't know who I am, but who are you? I was a baroness. Pause. There's a silence on the other end. You won't get me, and you won't get my money. The phone hangs up. What? Oh, I'll leave that alone. Maybe I'll come back to it. Someone must have worked hard to smash the plastic dome. Alright, here we go. This is the abandoned boardwalk. Oh, this is the fish market, I think. Oop, jacket. Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad. Touch it. The cloth, if you can still call it that, makes a soft crunching sound as you thrust your finger into it. Take a closer look. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. Please tell me you're not thinking of taking that with you. I think this is the jacket the idiot Doomspiral guy wanted me to find. The lieutenant looks at the stinking rag and sniffs. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to have it returned. Oh, I need to open this. Oh, okay. So, let's get the crowbar out. Take the speed away. Ooh, another postcard. Still don't really know what the postcards do. I think you just sell them. But I have a feeling that there's sometimes in this game there's things of like, oh, yeah, you can use that to do this and stuff, so. Oh, wicked. About to approach this bit. What's this? A big wine canister. It's open and empty. Moonshine, probably. It smells like tasty fermentation. Okay. Alright. Whoop, hello. That smell, it's awful and familiar. Hold on. That is awful. It doesn't help. You can still smell it. Keep it in now. Don't ever react. Breathe. What is it? Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency, the faintly cloying sweetness? Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. Heads up, Lieutenant. Something's not right here. The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose. Yep, here we go. This is the guy. I might inspect the dead body first. That seems a bit disrespectful. Working class corpse! The man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits, and in his cramped hand a chewing gum wrapper. Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the left leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet. The smell is not as bad as the 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there. Hold on. The lieutenant squats next to his corpse and examines his face. 2 bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life. The lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is, he's been dead for 2 days, no longer. He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through the bomber jacket. We need to investigate. Another dead body. This is your job. Steal yourself. Calm now, carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe. Study the man himself. The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and has hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still tangling through the hole. Sorry. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. 40 grams of pure alcohol, 3 bottles of wine, or 1 and half of spirits. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here. Examine his face. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache, his eyes empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Study the man's clothes. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are some traces of kebab sauce on his chest. The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom-made. Search his pockets. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card, folded in 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand. Good. We should take a look at the library card after this is done. Study the surroundings. There are some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. Even an empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here. Chewing gum wrapper. Rubelski. Spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. Look in. The blackness of death, the stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is in there, solidified under the lower row of his teeth. He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, the man shudders from the cold. I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same. Always the same. I examine the man's head. A dry chunk of blood covers the hair the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. I don't see any major wounds, do you? No, just one on the back of his head. Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench. Step on the floorboards. They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was enough to cause the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below you. Something cracks beneath your feet. Examine the bottle. A 0.75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. It's mid-market spirits with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time. Tear all around us. He looks at two other bottles, near the coin-operated viewer, then at your yellow plastic bag. I'd prefer if you didn't collect them at this time. It's not proper. The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back. Who is this man? Looks like one of the locals. You'd have to know the spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. You look south to the way you came. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think? We know who this is. It's the working class husband's missing husband, dead on the boardwalk. The woman you met at the book stand? He looks at the bundle of flesh and rags lying at the ground. Why do you think it's her husband? The leather jacket, points at the man's clothes. It matches her description perfectly. Bright blue lining. He nods, and then points at the ring on the left man's hand. Well, he's definitely someone's husband. What do you think happened here? Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk, a truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he would be alive. Do you think he was drunk? Oh yes. The lieutenant nods. What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure? Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. What about the kebab? What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. He shrugs. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the parks. Someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous! They'll see this place after the news reach after the coalition officials. I doubt they'd have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city's council hands clean. He smiles sourly. Right. What should we do with him? From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for the colleagues to handle. Hold on, what about a field autopsy? A field autopsy is not necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me. I'd say we just write down head trauma and leave it at that. Let's keep this detour as short as possible. The sooner we get back to finding Ruby, the better. Yeah, but isn't that kind of sloppy? Maybe, but we don't really have much time or resources to spare. The guys at the processing will take care of the rest. We found him, we should finish this. Alright. We should first examine that library card you found. Cool. Let's have a look at the library card. Folded library card. Okay. The library card is folded in two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads Central Jamrock Police? Central Jamrock Public Library Card issued to Billy... Oh man, so much French words. I'm not good at French. Billy Majon? Billy Majon. Expires July 53. Look inside. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. A radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one on the list is The Glinting Curve by M. Thibault. It's Thibault, I think. Thibault? The library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial this number or visit us at the Moreau Street, 78 Jamrock, business hours 9 to 18. Good. He takes a note. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mahjong. Good idea. There was plenty of information here to go by. Put it away.
Ooh.
I didn't know I had a book. Where did I get the book? That can be useful later. Okay. I'm gonna respect... Billy Mahjong is not my lover. So, I don't know if I can call you by name, Mysterious Stranger, but what do you think of the game so far? Okay, let's go find go to the kinema. We'll use his phone to... Oop, there's something in the ocean. Oh, I have to run to that. Just a crazy hobo cop running around in freaking mercenary armor and a freaking bathrobe, looking back at you from the rust-colored water. You. There's something over here too. Hey. Calm yourself, Harry. Here we go here. Rust-eaten letters read Mazut. Yeah, seriously, this game is... It's pretty freaking amazing with a lot of the narrative stuff, and it's just so different, you know? It's just such a different take on a game. It reminds me of, like I haven't played Planescape Torment, but I have a feeling that maybe I would have had this reaction to something like that. So yeah. Alright, we gotta go back to the kinema and talk to whoever. Oh, here's one of the traps. Go check that. Reach for the trap. Big surprise. The lieutenant grins mirthlessly. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go. Damn! I was hoping it would be in the first one. No, you weren't. He looks back at the sea, then you, laying the trap back down on the ground. The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. Some tufts have been crushed. Snow covers the broken stalls like a shroud. In the east, the city center hums to you. The constant distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold. Yeah, this game is amazing in so many ways. I'm planning on doing a video on it. It's just, it is very difficult when writing the script sometimes, because I want to make sure that I really do this game a proper analysis, and I don't just kind of waffle on. That's always something that I can write for like a good couple hours, and then by the end of it I'll be like, oh crap, this actually doesn't say anything about the game, and I'll have to delete like 1 hour's worth of writing. So yeah, this game is definitely something that is suited to just kind of sitting down and gorging in one sitting. Because it has very much that aspect of, you know, if you walk away from the game and you come back, you're kind of a little bit disoriented. I mean, like that's like that for a lot of RPGs, but I felt that a lot for this game. Okay. Kim, where are we looking? Right. Jamrock Public Library. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here.
A male librarian answers the call.
How can I help you, officer?
I'm looking for information that you can provide on Billy Mahjong, a reader.
Billy Mahjong, you said? Give me a moment. I'll have to check our database.
He puts down the receiver. On Moreau Drive in Central Jamrock, in a darkened hole lit by orange desk lamps, far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader. A lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback. Yes, hello, are you still there? You can hear him fiddle with the... Sorry, I forgot to transition from, dialogue to actual someone talking. You can hear him fiddle with the printout. I found Billy Majon's home address. Is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately. Yes, home address is fine. Here we go, sir. Rue du Saint... oh man, how do you say that? Ghislaine? Ghislaine? I know like a lot of S's in French are like silent. Ghislaine? Galan? Oh man. The French language is a mystery to me. As much as any other language beside English, I guess. Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments. It says, that's all. That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it? Do you have any other information on Billy Majon? It says here that they returned their last book a few days ago, but I wasn't working that day. Do I really... Marie? He covers the phone with his hand and yells out the room behind him. Marie! Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Thibault book the other day. You hear someone answer from afar. Maurice, what? A woman yells. Yes, okay. If it was the police... She starts explaining something. Yes, it was my colleague Marie. The librarian is speaking into the phone again. She said it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for his new sci-fi release, Lou's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet. So Billy Majon is a woman, not a man. How did your colleague know that it was her husband? Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her. Do you know the husband's name? Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight. Can Marie describe me how the husband looked like? Marie! A moment passes. She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he had a drink or two under the last time she saw him. What was he wearing? 1 second. The librarian turns away her phone again and relays the question. Sorry, Marie, wasn't really paying attention to that. Thanks. That's all from me. I have no other questions. Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer. Yep, done. Alright. Now we can go to the Cape Side Apartments. Sort this shit out. What time is it? It's 2:30. How many? Ooh, I've got some good skill points to share. Awesome. Yeah, this time around, like, last time I spent a lot of my skill points on... Do I still have the hat on? I do. I spent a lot of my skill points on thoughts. I wonder how that thought is going. Ooh, I'm so close. How long now? 14 minutes. That's awesome. So yeah, for those, like my mysterious stranger in the chat room, so this is like the second part of the skill system in Disco Elysium. So you have like your main character sheet here with all your skills along here, and then you go to your thought cabinet, which is kind of like your feats or like something like that in other types of RPGs. But this time round, it's very different because you get your feats based on certain events or dialogue options that you manage to unlock. For me, for example, getting some kind of superstar, that happens when you say to people enough times that you're some kind of superstar, or like you say like, yeah, I'm a superstar and everything like that. So I've gotten Masovian socioeconomics because I said enough socialist things in this game to be like, you're a communist. And then you have stuff like if you consider when your birthday was, you get date of birth generator. I got this one, which is interesting, homosexual underground, because I found out that someone, one of the characters in this was gay, and I was like, hey, are you homosexual? And I got this thought. I don't know what the bonus is from it yet, but also that's important as well, is that each of these provide changes to your stats. So I get +2 perception from this apricot chewing gum scented one. Hobocop allows me to find more tear, get more money for selling like bottles, and my shivers gets raised to 6, which hasn't really been proved to be that useful. But as long as I have Hobocop in my thought cabinet, I can refer to myself as a Hobocop. This one was interesting as well, and it's been really good. Like, you get +1 reaction speed, and if you have no gloves on, you get plus suggestion 1, which is interesting. But yeah, back to the actual game. So let's go up the balcony. Oh, seems I have someone else joining me. Oh, what else? Seems my cake will be ready soon. Cakes in baking no longer than others, although will be cooked in by 8. I can either serve as it is or let it cool. Okay. How about this, people? Apparently the cake will be ready by 9ish. Once we get the cake ready, it'll be brought in. We'll say happy birthday, even though there's currently only 3 people watching. And I'll have my cake, and that'll end the stream, I guess. It's this one over here. I've done this quest before, so, but I didn't have that connection where, like, because if with this quest, that's what's so interesting about Disco Elysium's quest structure, is like you can actually come into a quest halfway and be like still complete the quest meaningfully. But what happened was I actually hassled a woman in the middle of the street and insisted that something was wrong. And then she said, you know what, something is wrong. My husband's missing. And then I started this quest, and I was able to find that guy on the boardwalk that you saw probably about 20 minutes ago. But in the first playthrough, I just stumbled upon this dead guy. And then from there, I discovered, oh yeah, this guy's at this apartment and everything. So here we go. Something smells good. More French words. Le nom? Le nom? Soup à le nom? Lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock. Hold on, Kim. We should discuss this before we move on. What should we expect? You're right. Let's talk this through. He looks at the apartment door and lowers his voice a bit. You hear light footsteps passing by the door and some folk music playing on the radio. We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Marjon. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Le Grill. The Grill! What the hell is that? Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. And this is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary. What if I don't want to do this? Can't someone else do it? Kim, I don't want to do this. Let's turn around. Try to bail out. Alright. I think I'm ready. Honestly, I think I'm ready. I don't need to explore those options. Kim motions towards the door. Knock.
Hello? Who is it?
Someone turns down the radio. Is this Billy Marjon's home? This is the police. Please open the door.
The police? A moment, please. Give us a moment.
Tidying up, nervously.
Come in. The door is open.
Autosave. I love when this game autosaves. Sorry, I probably sounded a bit too excited about that. Yeah, that's definitely the working class woman. Don't run, okay? Take it slow when exploring the apartment. Be respectful. An empty pack of Red Astra cigarettes under the bed. The packages of humanitarian aid and macaronis. Some leftovers kept warm on a stovetop. Smells like buckwheat and onions here. Windows covered in old newspaper clippings. Don't mind me, I'm just walking through your apartment. A chalk-drawn height chart for children's growth over the years. That produces some feels. A textbook for high school, mathematics, trigonometry mostly. Posters for contemporary pop stars adorn the walls. The clock is ticking away with an odd cheerfulness.
It's you from the book stand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back?
She's referring to how she called me a cockatoo, and I actually researched what type of cockatoo I actually was. Excuse me.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Or tea, lemonade? Or out of coffee?
Lieutenant has taken off his foggy glass and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here. Thanks, but I'm alright. Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up at the station if that's what... She stops her eyes, trying to read answers from your face. Keep it together. You don't want your body language to tell her the news. Whoa, I have a lot of bonuses. So, how have you been? I noticed you were cooking something. People gotta eat. She rubs her hands together, anxious. What is this about? Why are you suddenly asking about my cooking? See if I can get more empathy stuff on. Alright. Meanwhile... Hold on a moment. Just gotta get more empathic here. Alright. Suggestion. Esprit decor. Hello to... Yes, just mine. I just gotta change my clothes before I talk to you. Empathy. Anything else? Logic. Anything that reduces empathy. I don't think I have anything that reduces empathy. Yeah, that. So I gotta get my, what would be good to cover that? No, not that. My insane tank top. Cool. Let's do it again. Damn it, I made her anxious. Let's do it. Yes! You've done this before. Just keep your focus. God, do I just say he's dead like that? Ma'am, I'm very sorry to say, but your husband, Victor Marjan, was found dead on the Martinez boardwalk. What did you say? A great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her veins. Your husband, Victor Marjan, is dead. I'm very sorry for your loss, ma'am. Oh, she touches her neck. Her eyes pale like pearls in seawater. Oh, she says again. But he was just... Looks at the kitchen table where 2 cigarette butts are still in the ashtray. But he was just here. Alive. We understand this comes as a huge shock. We want to know that me and my partner, he points at you, are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am. What happened to him? She turns to you. Her neck and cheeks are covered with red blotches. Her double chin is shaking. It was an accident. He fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head. Was he drunk? Alcohol may have played a role, yes. I see. She withdraws, trying to picture the scene. And you just found him there, lying in the cold? How long has he been there? If you say 2 days, maybe it will be etched in her mind forever. It's hard to say at this point. She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hands start searching for something from the pockets of her dress. The handkerchief. Give her the lieutenant's handkerchief. Yes, thank you. She smiles a small, terrified smile, and wipes away her tears. She looks disoriented. That's my thought. Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you? No, she breathes in. I just need to tell my girls. The air gets sucked out of her lungs suddenly. It burns like acid. God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home? No, a day. No, take a day to recover. You'll be better prepared when they come home tomorrow. Good, that's probably the right thing to do. Thank you. But she nods, but with a wretched expression. Yeah, it's out of the way. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him? We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier. A very good call. He hands her a leaflet with the morgue's contact information. Is there anyone else in the RCM? And is there anyone else that the RCM can do it for you? No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still. She rubs her face. Runs her fingers across cheeks, over cheeks that have become numb. Thank you. She looks down. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if. She runs out of breath. These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon. Already she starts to shake. Again, I'm very sorry, ma'am. The lieutenant nods at the woman, then looks back to you, his voice lowered. We should step outside and talk. Set the library card by her. Leave the room. Oh man. Having that background information of like the husband and how distraught she was about the husband being lost is hitting me a bit closer to home as a result. No, come on. Oh, I have this. So this is what happens when the thought actually completes. You've sharpened your sense by being on the lookout for missing persons. Now you've noticed more what's happening around you. Perhaps when you're done with this case, you can join the Searchlight Division of the RCM and find every Revacholian that's ever gone missing without a trace. There is undoubtedly a backlog of such cases, because you never know. A missing person could just be around the edge, barely out of sight. +2 perception. Nice. Wicked. Alright, let's talk to our good buddy, Kim Katsuragi.
You did well.
You did well. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Kim. It means so much when you say that to me. What now? Calls his station when we're finished with the day and let them know the name of the deceased. What about Billy and her kids? Oh. Right, this is closed then. Well, that's that. Inspect the traps, find Idiot Doomspiral's jacket. I'll take the bird to Gart. Go talk to Gart. In the hostel. Okay. See if I got any more messages. Alright, let's head to the hostel. Oh, I can do this now. Let's get like really into it. That is a unique look. With a necktie, maybe a beanie. Yeah, let's do it. I'm a frickin' artist. Paintbrush, check. Heavy oil fuel, check. Now the only thing left to do is to paint the wall. I love you, Kuno. Fuck the police. Mother of all walls. What shadow lies there beneath the bright gleam? Draw a 3,500-year-old pictogram of a human being. Something beautiful is going to happen. No parking. Let's see what. Alright, so apparently I'm about to, according to the stream, I'll ask mysterious. Oh, please get a mesh tank top as well. Yeah, I have it. Mesh. I have the mesh tank top. It's there. Mysterious stranger, what do you think I should paint on the wall? Which is either fuck the police, I love you, Kuno, mother of all walls, what shadow lies there beneath the bright gleam, draw a pictogram of a human being, something beautiful is going to happen, no parking. What do you think? I await your response. Boo, boo, doo, boo. Is that, by the way? I don't know if I don't know if I bought my wife this or she bought it for herself. Oh, in real life, you mean? Get a mesh tank top. I mean, I could try and find one. I guess you can. It's the internet. You can get anything on there. Still. All right. Obviously, there's a big lag because, you know, Australian internet is so rubbish that I think I'm like 10 seconds behind you. So I'll wait. Which means that when you respond, you'll be seeing all my shit saying this. So, but as soon as I see that, it's going down. Oh yeah, so I got this as well for no parking. Okay, I got this for my birthday, courtesy of my wife. I did have a big thing for the vinyl pops a couple years ago, but I saw this one and I thought this is actually really legit, and my wife got it for me, so that's good stuff. Okay, no parking. You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so until the sea air degrades the paint, another layer of detritus to the city. Very poetic. The lieutenant nods in appreciation. It doesn't sound sincere. Real poetry. Should we return to our murder investigation? I hear there's a really bad one we're supposed to solve. Oh, the sass on Kim Kitsuragi. Alright, did I get another... Yeah, I have another skill point to spend. Awesome. I'll wait to spend them though, because yeah, I don't really know what to spend it on. I also like having the options open, so that, like, say I have something. I'll show you quickly as well. Mysterious stranger. Oh, here we go. So on this side of the thing, you have like things that you tried to do but you failed, and you can actually go. It says like these are white. These are found white checks. Those that are in white, you are available to try. You're available to try now. So I can go talk to, say, the barred door and try and break it down, or go to the ice cream maker and break that and stuff like that. So, but we'll do that eventually. I'm just gonna go see Guards about replacing his bird that I apparently damaged.
Can I help you?
What is this thing? The man takes the stuffed bird. It's no biggie. I just thought it would look nice on the wall. I'm that kind of cup. What? The interior decorating kind? He inspects the bird somewhat suspiciously, then mellows. You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I could fix it with the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess? He hesitates. So I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you. This was mostly about the fucking cardio. Massive cardio here. You'll live here till 90, or you'll get a heart attack from running. I feel good about our work here today, Lieutenant. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals. Oh, at night I could probably sing karaoke. I might be able to sing karaoke tonight. Last time I did the karaoke thing, I hopelessly failed, and I almost died out of embarrassment. So that was a thing. Okay, I'm not there. What do I need to do now? ask about Ruby in the village. The washerwoman is hiding something. You find out more when you sleep in the shack. Yeah, so I just need to go back to the. Go back to the coast. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Hopefully, because like the time in this game passes whenever you talk to people. Like me running around and stuff like that. The time will not actually move forward. Not until I say chat to someone I've never chatted with before, or read a book, stuff like that. Actually, I should probably change my outfit now because I don't need to. Yeah, so. What do I need more than... I don't need logic, definitely. The amphibian sports fiber is always the go. Yeah. How about... What kind of shirt should I wear? White tank top. Nailing it. Look at this. I'm a fashionista. I've already checked that freaking trap. Already been in there. I've already talked to her. Oh, I can actually walk into the house now, that's right. So I'll do that now. I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement and look for any signs of Ruby. But just so you know, after we're done with the day, I'll be staying at the Whirling in Rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning. The key turns. Yeah, so I can go in there and I'll be left alone. Oh, I can also forge the document here as well. I think. Let me have a look. There's another quest I've had where this guy wants me to get signatures from people along the coast. So you can put in like some sort of like a community center, I think it is. You take the legal envelope. Oh yeah. Find a loophole in the deal. Maybe that's why I could only do it before, is because I found a loophole in the deal. I can't unlock it because I can't put any more points in logic. So that's fucked. That means I actually have to get signatures from people to get this done. I can't forge it. That's unfortunate, but yeah, we're here to investigate a murder. Ooh, here we go. The old mirror hangs on the wall. You see a reflection of your face in it, adorned with the expression. Why is it so low? Attempt to stop the expression from happening. See the waves, the sea, the church. So there's loose floorboard here. Alright, so this is where I find the bullet, I think. Search through the sand and sawdust. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust and something hard wrapped in paper. A small cylindrical object, you pull it out, it's a bullet. The floorboard doesn't care, but maybe the washerwoman does? You have enough to confront her with. It's extra ammunition. She's locked and loaded, ready to fight some cops. Old science fiction magazines. Birds About Birdwatching, an almanac from '39. This intricate heat engine hums quietly, giving you a pleasant warmth. A brisk coastal wind still howls against the window of the shack. Occasionally, the waves crawl in under the foundation, producing a low hum. Listen. The room feels muffled, like you pulled your hat over your ears. Outside it is cold and windy, but you're inside and it feels safe and warm. What is this place to you? Mind you hang out where I could silently sit, drink, and die while looking at the waves roll in. My forward base of the coastal part of my operation. It's free, that's good enough, I could live here. I wonder where my old one went. Yep. Overhead, you hear the forlorn shriek of seagulls. Far below the birds, a wooden boardwalk filled with the abandoned stands, tables, and benches, echoes from a long-lost time. A middle-aged woman stands in the rundown shack on the edge of the fishing village, listening to the heater hum of the wall. This feels like a cozy hideout. Thank you, strange sensation. I have fair assessment of the current situation. Outside, the howl of the wind has picked up. The waves crash against the stilts again, as if you think the thought, but in someone else's voice. Rebashol forever. Alright, that happened. Okay, now confront the washerwoman.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Why was there a bullet underneath the floorboards of your shack? God damn that girl. And without anger, a long, harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure. A bullet? The lieutenant turns to you and gives you a little nod. Then turns to the washerwoman. You didn't put it there, did you? She did. Gone and hid things in there. She shakes her head. She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either. You rented the room to her? The old woman sits in silence, her hands moving in the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge. Slowly she speaks, wringing out a rag. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl, as I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear we welcome all kinds of people here. When was this? She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. Her wrinkled hand needs a blue rag in the water. What has she gotten herself into, that girl? That's for the police to find out. The lieutenant takes out a familiar blue notebook. Right then, please answer each of the questions to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few. You said she left on Monday. Yes, early, with the dogs. Around 8 o'clock, I think. Is this room exactly as she left it? I cleaned it, like I always do. Or is there anything else there? No. The truth, sire. What's she like, this Ruby? She's good company, knows how to talk to an old woman. She rubs her cold hands together. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation, so I really appreciate that about her. Did she talk to you much about during her last stay? No, she was mostly silent this time, kept to herself. What do you mean? She tried not to let it show, but I could tell that she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to catch a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room. What do you think? Why do you think she left the bullet in there? How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun. She looks back to her shack thinking. Where did she go? I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on the door screeched like a cat in heat. It woke me up. I hear her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north. After a moment of silence, she says, "You'll never find her, you know." Her tone is without malice. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived. I wouldn't worry about that now. We're persistent. For up the coast we go! Are you sure you wouldn't rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? She drops the rag into the bucket. It's clean now. Seems like it'd be a better idea to me. No, you can do it. You have to. You still have plenty of juice in you before you drop. Behind the cinderblock houses, pre-war ruins rise in the sky like dark palaces. The wind calls. Oh, I could wash it. I found this jacket, but it's filthy. Could you wash it for me? I can wash it for you, she says after looking the jacket over, but it's going to take about half an hour. Think you can stay put for that long? No, we must run around ceaselessly. It would be torture to stay put. I could use a breather. It's been another track and field day, the lieutenant says, rubbing his thigh. Yeah, I'll wait. Must say, I'm proud of this one, she nods, handing the jacket back to you. It's pretty nice underneath all that filth. I hope you take better care of it than its last owner. One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her. She looks around, the air gets colder. She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in. Alright. Let's, oh, yeah. That's probably his jacket. Let's do this. Oh, no, I don't want to talk to you. Cut, sorry.
Tequila sunset.
Okay, here's your jacket. Freshly washed. My jacket? Yeah, it was pretty filthy though, so I got it clean for you. A look of consternation crosses the man's face. He looks at you, then looks at his bottle, then back to you. What the fuck are you talking about, Tequila? What the fuck are you talking about? Rosemary, what the fuck is Tequila talking about? Aye, that's the jacket you stole 2 weeks ago from that kid who was making it with his gal on the beach. That's disgusting. I've never done anything like that in my life. You're both delusional. He scoffs. Phone? That's medium concept stuff. I'm calling it. It's neurological. Your loss. I'm keeping the jacket for myself. That shit is so medium concept I wouldn't touch it with a stick. But yeah, okay. I'm sure it looks great on you. It's an okay jacket. Lieutenant shrugs, if you're into that look. Alright. Oh, hello. What's this then?
I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style.
Kitsuragi. How dare you? Well, it's a little eclectic, don't you think? How would you even describe what you're wearing? Hobo chic. Superstar casual. They're just clothes, Kim. Who cares? Superstar casual. Or hobo chic. Where am I at? Yeah, okay. Are you still in the comments, mysterious stranger? If you are there, what do you think? Superstar casual or hobo chic? What do you think my style is? They're just clothes, Kim. Who fucking cares? Office harbinger. I don't know. Hobo chic is pretty on point. Or superstar casual. Clicks your tongue. Hobo chic. Well, I can't say it doesn't fit you. Still, you might try branching out a little. You know the expression, the clothes makes the man? The right outfit, the right situation can make all the difference in the world? Okay. You're a sharp dressing man. I could be style buddies with you. I'm not taking style from someone who dresses like a... No, I'm not going to insult him. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, detective. A warm smile. Anyway, we should probably get back to the case. Let's go. Why did he critique me on my sense of fashion? Is it because I own so much clothes? Oh, whoa. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Like, it's crazy, this delay. But that's what... Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Alright, I can actually wear that now. That's crazy. So, like, I have, like, almost a full faun outfit. All I need is the shoes now. I need 50 Royale, and I have the full faun outfit. That's crazy. But let's dress properly again. Get the half-light gloves. Not the tank top. Where's that t-shirt? Not bad. Oh, this one's pretty good. That. Yeah. Yeah, it really is, isn't it? It is a testament to the NBN. I love how I'm hearing stories about how, like, oh, like NBN is like being overloaded by all the people that are staying home, working from home and stuff like that. Oh. Ooh. Zooming out. Winter, slow to let go of Rebishol. Flex some more wet snow from above. Look around you. The snow falls lazily, making the beach sand paler still, mixing with the rust-coloured sewage runoff. And to think, it seems as though it were already spring. How does it feel? The melting snow seeps through your thin clothes. Grandmothers don't let their grandchildren outdress so lightly in this weather. At least your hair is protected from getting wet and slicking together. You look around. What's in the west? More building. I feel like I'm like, you know, like Old Spice? Like, what's in the west? More windy coastline, lined with abandoned buildings, crumbling piers, salt, water lapping on the dark piles, grey and red, forgotten city blocks. What remains of the pre-revolutionary effort to gentrify the coast. And beyond that, those waters turn black. Coal City in the shadow of St. Martin, a boom town, back when coal extracted from countless shafts near the city was needed to power Revachol. No more. The coal was supplanted by petroleum from the ocean floor and hydropower from the Esperance. Everything crumbled. These days, only the weakest remain in Coal City. Their hopes of getting rich linger in the defunct shafts under their feet. What is there? Below the old mines, Lucer, is it Lucer? Lucer Municipal, Revachol's underground cemetery. Le Petit Rats brave the underground passageways, trying to get to Le Royal. French. Le Royal. Le Petit Rats? Children under 14, they go underground, looking for artifacts to sell to foreign museums and for fabled relics. Their parents let them. They go deeper. Deeper? After rubies, Melchiorite, lapis lazuli, plundered from Safra, Seoul, during the time of the suzerain. In the burial chambers of the kings, Grand Old Philippe, Guillaume? I don't know how to pronounce that name. Guillaume II, and even the mausoleum of Philippe the Opulent. 2 kilometers underground, in a winding shaft along those walls, mirrors have been placed so that daylight may eternally fall upon the richest of all the kings. The mausoleum contains untold quantities of gold, and that special purest of pure magenta cocaine favored by Revacholian royalty. Did someone say untold quantities of cocaine? Drop everything and immediately go looking for it. After rubies, Melchiorite, lapis lazuli plundered from the Safra and the Seoul during the time of the suzerain in the burial chambers of the kings, Grand Old Philippe, Guillaume II, and even the mausoleum of Philippe the Opulent. 2 kilometers underground in a winding shaft along those walls, along whose walls mirrors have been replaced so daylight may eternally fall upon the richest of all the kings. Jian. Don't do that.
Say it right, Frenchie.
There we go. The mausoleum contains untold quantities of gold, and that special purest of the pure magenta cocaine favored by Revacholian royalty. I just repeat the same thing over again. Oh, that was annoying. Wipe the snow from your shoulder. Few petite rats return from the shafts, and even fewer find what they're looking for. A small child steps out of a black tunnel with silver trinkets in her pockets. Where is Ruby? Near. Snow falls into dark water. She prays, though she doesn't believe. There is a hum in the air. That's all. What's below me? Layers upon layers of sand poisoned with industrial runoff, the storm drainage, hinted bunkers, rats scuttle. Tell me a secret of the sands, wind. Someone stuffed a big old polar anorak into a concrete pipe under the boardwalk. It could keep you warm. You will probably never happen across it, but who knows? Stomp your feet for warmth, brushing off the snow. Finished thought. We should keep moving. Who knows when this snow will let up? Yeah, that's one thing that I find a little bit so-so with this game. Oop, hello. A kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. That's one thing I kind of do find a little bit with the skill of Shivers, is that it's a bit too verbose. It's cool and all to have this sort of like very connected feeling to the setting, but ultimately it only really kind of provides context for what you're playing. In terms of the other skills, like all of these have like really gameplay related roles, and because the fact that each of these abilities or skills or whatever you'd like to call them is skill. Each of these skills have a very deliberate heavy, a very deliberate, effective part of playing the game, that something like Half-Life or Shivers really kind of sticks out a little bit as something that you don't use often, and it kind of makes it feel a little bit, it's like, why is it there, so to speak? Like, all of these, endurance, pain, physical, electrochemistry, they're all very relevant. Suggestion, extremely relevant. Spirit decor, like, it's one of those things, like, you don't really get it. It pops up every once in a while, and when it does pop up, it plays like it does a huge thing for you. It really helps. Authority as well has that same effect. Empathy as well. Inland Empire is extremely interesting. All of these are super interesting as well. And yeah, all the motoric ones are absolutely amazing. But it's just these two here that just, they should have been reworked in some way to be a bit more, to have a bit more use, in my opinion, but that's just me. Either way, the game's, the skill system in this is perfect. It's just amazing. Not perfect, but it's amazing. It really does. It's kind of like, it really makes me think how CRPGs, like Pillars of Eternity, Baldur's Gate, all that sort of good stuff, have always had this goal to be able to replicate what it's like to play a tabletop RPG but on a computer. And I think out of all of the games so far, Disco Elysium really does tap into that sort of idea of transplanting a tabletop game into a computer game. I think Pillars of Eternity 2 really got close to it as well. But yeah, I love this game. Rarely have I ever actually played a game where I say to myself, I have to play this again. I have to give it a second try. Why are people giving money in this shit? Who thought this would be a good idea? Let's check out this. Because I know if you feel the shadow of a very large building falling. Dusty pews in the shadows, many seem to be missing. An altar shrouded in the dark, or something like that. It's too dark to tell. I wonder if I can break into this place earlier, because I know I have to talk to someone else before I can actually get into the building. Heavy wooden doors more than twice your height stand shut in front of you. The rectangular seam-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock carelessly drilled into the wood. Nothing happens, only the sound of the padlock rattles against the door. I don't think this is going to work. Do you think our suspect is hiding in here? He raises the sight to the darkened windows overhead. She might be. It's worth checking it out. High above, the wind wraps the church in its rush. Cold and wet from the ocean bay, it parts around the massive keel-shaped roof like a test tunnel washing both sides. The way has done for 340 years. The wind keeps its distance, so should you. What is this feeling? There is a hole in my heart! What? The lieutenant looks at the padlock. He didn't hear you asking. You were quiet enough. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting somehow. You see a yellow circle with two axes and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile and the X makes it dead. Have you seen this symbol before? He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies, "No." What does it look like to you? Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency? Okay, what is junior delinquency? For Revachol ZOC, the moral intern defines junior delinquents as minors between the ages of 10 and 16 who have committed an act in violation of the law. These acts aren't crimes, but they could be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. This was part of your officer's exams. He puts the handkerchief in his coat pocket. What is suggestive of junior delinquency here? I haven't seen that sticker before. I am not of the youth. Ooh, try to peel the sticker off without ripping it. Yes! There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. Put the sticker in your ledger after that last entry where it belongs. Looks like today was a gold star day. Inspect the staple. The bad luck passes through staple and has been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional to say the least. Inspect the carpentry. The carving of the door is block-like and angular, unlike the church itself. 2 large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold. Run your hand over a beam. The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch. Feels exceptional. 300 times of pine wood fit together seamlessly. It's all too cut and carved many centuries ago. Inspect the staple. Can I? Carpentry. If you really think we should get in there, we need to find some way in. Should we start with the kick drum? Coming from the eyes, I'm actually not interested in that shit. No. Yes. The pulsing bass. He raises his hand to his ear. An indication of junior delinquency. Alright, so we do have to talk to the people on the ice. How do I get over there though? Is it here? Oh, I have to walk around here, that's right. Oh, hello. To your right, a white-bellied cormorant eyes you suspiciously. It must have taken a lot of patience to do this. Oh, do you hear those fat beats? I certainly do. What's this? More tribalistic markings. This purse is covered with accumulates. All screwed into the ice keeps the tent correct. Trash from an unending party. The tent is just a tarpaulin fabric, covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open inside. 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on! Get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
No way. Yellow moss on these stones. They're probably stolen from someone's garden.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello there. It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs makes you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party. Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat? Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder. I said you shouldn't have her hat on.
So should you.
So should you. You don't have to do anything.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice that. It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying up out in this weather.
Yeah, well, look man, fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'll definitely fail that.
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
A cell. Her hair is dyed blonde with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness. A cell? Who? I'm not a young suitor. This is official police business. Well, it's Burger. Have you seen a red-haired woman around? No. Just no? It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast. Teenagers skulking around, gang members looking for a hole in the Union's defenses. Maybe Ruby too, but she wouldn't be able to tell from here. What's your device that you have there? This? She breathes on her freezing fingers. It's a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still. And the wires? Actually, it's just the one wire. I picked it up till the braiding came loose. The wires lead to a contact microphone. What is a contact microphone? A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice. Nice! You could maybe bug something with it. Wiretapping. Where'd you get that mic from? Same place I got the recorder from. The Elysium. What's the Elysium? Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? She forgets herself for a moment. It's the coolest place in the whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop. On Boogie Street in Jamrock, musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck. Sound interesting. Who is this? What? Sounds like a place for What? No! Oh yeah, she looks over you, assessing your age. Guess you would know Van Eyck. Or really be a Elysium guy kind of going person. I get down. I don't know what that means. I grind. I don't know what that means either. It means I'm hip beyond my years. Nor do I, but I have a concrete evidence that I rock, in the form of a wrecked tape player and the completely trashed hostel room. That's cool. She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. Right, time has deserted me. Oh dear. Sucks, man. Squints her eyes for a second, trying to remember something. Then let's go of it. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps? How does that thing work? The mic? I actually don't know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The box said it only picks up structure-born sound. If you like technobabble. Actually, I had some non-mic related questions. Why are you out here in the cold? Recording, I guess. What is it you're recording exactly? I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell, not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound. She scratches her head. What happened to the old headphones? My boyfriend stole them. What for? I don't know, man. Things? Just stuff you need for life? A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious. And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps? The musicians in the Elysium use them for making music. They loop the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I thought it'd make sense too. It's supposed to be like a music place anyway. She rubs her shoulders and looks around. I really don't know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer. The sharp drop in endorphins is almost visible, like a warm blanket has fallen over her shoulders. The wave of the chill, the quivering jaw, indications of a drug high. She is on some kind of stimulant, amphetamine or methadone, and its effects are wearing off fast. She will begin to experience more and more valleys now, and fewer peaks. Take this, you're cold. Lou begins to take off his jacket. No man, fuck that. I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the other fuck. It's okay. The lieutenant backs up. He throws you a glance. Give her your hat. She's not having my hat. Now this is where a hat would come in handy. You said it's supposed to be a music place. What is? That. She nods towards the church. The boys think it could be a place, like the Elysium or something. Stupid. It's really, she pauses, not gonna be a Elysium, that's for sure. And who are these boys? Yeah, Andre and the guys. They're inside the tent. I wonder if I can go back. Give her a different hat. What hat can I give her? This hat! Rude.
Hello again.
Okay. Get to the bit. Yep. Let's just nod. Yep. Give her the hat. Yep. It's a bit large for her. Cool, so I gave her a hat. Gave her a hat. Oh, I need to get my empathy up. Alright, let's go back to this. Empathy time! What do I need? Drama, perception, I should put that. Yeah, where's all my empathy stuff? Am I wearing it? Well, there's glasses for it. think I am already wearing a lot of empathy-related things. Yeah, I am. Change the shirt. What can I wear instead? Tank top.
Whoa!
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick. From the batteries inside, the company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands. Put the tape recorder down. I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice with the drugs wearing off at your age or at any age in this weather. Oh. Oh, what happened there? Oh, I must have stuffed that up. Oh well. I thought, because I picked the other choice last time, I thought that would be a new thing or something.
Come on, get in. The warm stuff's getting out. Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this. I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Smells like sweat and laundry detergent, plus a trace of ether. Cupre L'Ange. Engine starting fluid. Pile of nasal sprays, brand name Nosafed Ultra. A speaker, the big kind that they use for live music. Canisters filled with what appears to be water, label says distilled. You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand as an ingredient.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
His grip is strong, sweaty and warm. He tries to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead. Egg!
He yells. The tape player high above his head continues to blast strange music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Wait, how many music venues have you actually organised?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues. Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church. And I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dope heads.
Dope heads.
Burnouts. Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revershol.
Strike that, the world!
Strike that, the world!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert, knows. I don't know, I'm a bit of a dopehead myself. What kind? I won't stand no narcomaniacs of any kind. No narcomaniacs on my watch. What kind? The spooky kind. What exactly do you mean by it? Spookiness is not a matter of police investigation. You know, officer, you really should judge that for yourself. But keep in mind, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring the church into a community centre and a place for spiritual refuge. Oh, so they don't heat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that. Thank you, Egghead. He turns to you. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing. I'm sure that's not what Ecclesiastes meant their property for. I'll look into it, tell me more. Alright, man. He claps his hands enthusiastically. Andre is obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks. Did you put a padlock on the door? Yes. I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, but something to contain the situation. I had to do it in a hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while. I need the key. And of course, Noid, give the officer the key. Alright. The speed freak dips into his belt and packs and produces a yellow key, and then makes a sudden, cool, infused move, tossing it into your general direction. Be the cool cop, catch the keys on the fly. Yes! You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches, and just the tiniest chime in your hand, to your left. Catch it. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly. Thanks, man. The speed freak nods to you. A respectful nod. You've proved something here. This game is so absurd. Oh my god. How are we doing? Cake will be coming soon. Yeah, I can smell it actually. How long have those people been locked in there? Not long. Maybe a week, maybe? He shrugs. How can you be so sure they haven't starved to death? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm like 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive. 85% is good enough. No one lives forever, baby. Exactly. That's exactly what we thought. The cage of the rage, rough place. Egg means the situation is monitored. The man nods grimly. It's relatively safe. No one has died yet. Right, other questions. Leave. Be careful, officer, and tell us how it goes, yeah? We'll be right. A young man with peroxide blonde hair shows up, holds up a Harman Waushi tape player nodding to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says,
Hardcore!
Hardcore! Is it?
It's hardcore!
You're just gonna keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you?
Skibber D, Skibber Danger. I am the rearranger.
What the fuck? Could there be a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid? Good.
Skin shows through the holes of the speed freak's too large sweater in front of him, an open toolbox full of carpentry tools and parts.
It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading.
It sounds like Rick from The Young Ones. Sign? Yeah, gotta compare if we can align. Interesting. I suck at socializing, man, but even now our sign synchronization is way off. But I'll see what I can do. I saw a sticker on the padlock. Can you tell me anything about it? A sticker? You mean the yellow one? Can you describe it to me? You're not hardcore unless you live hardcore. I was gonna keep that all the time. Okay, it's a yellow circle, human face. Yeah. Good. He likes what he's hearing. What did you want to know? Was I right? Is it a dead guy smiling? Yes. You're the 23rd person to get it right, and I've asked 23 people. Looks like it's a dead guy smiling the entire human race. Really? Why do you think that's so? We're all the same eyes, same smiles, same death. Okay, what does it mean? He defeated history. We are the living in the age of history. In the eyes of the history, we are always dead. How can we ever smile then? Because history is alive. And so are its deaths. It's pretty profound. present moment of life and are the hardcore. The hardcore spells death. He thinks, or maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just really ecstatic about the beats. Or he's drugged out of his mind, come to think of it. And thinking maybe the smiling dead guy is a symbol for communism. It's also dead, but doesn't care. Ah, no. He could also be drugged out of his mind. Or drunk, or in a clinical coma, or glad to be dead. But those versions suck. I think we've exhausted the subject for now. What about now? Are all the signs right now? Now, still strongly out of sync. Stage gamma disalignment. What? He examines the small metal bolt in his hand. You heard me. Why are you called Noid? He picks up some sort of widget. The hardcore aesthetic is this esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment. I don't understand what that means. I can see that. Further sign matching would do us good for us. One way to achieve sign synchronicity would be getting us into the church. Oh, for sake, Alright, so I guess I will be doing the little quest to get into the church. I'm running out of time. I may not be able to do to sing karaoke. Oh, who knows? Maybe I might be able to do something. There we go. Let's go back to the church. It's almost nighttime now, so I might be able to do it. I just need to get into the church. It's cool. Alright. A strange stillness falls you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. This blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. Something to do with radio frequencies? A prayer book has been left open. A strange taste on your lips, like blood or strawberries. This bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. Could these wires work as contact microphones? Whoop. The silence in this part of the church is almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand right in the right spot, even your footsteps can be completely silent. Wait, I think I still hear something. And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums, you can hardly hear your own breathing. Stamp your feet and clap your hands. You produce a few muffled thumps. After that, the silence feels even more total somehow. Yell as loud as you can. Your voice is barely audible, not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving. Turn to Kim. What's happening? The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head, and then he leans closer. Can you hear anything? Almost nothing, and it's beginning to worry me. The church just has strange acoustics, some kind of engineering trick. His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. Whatever it is, it's definitely real. Something odd is happening around us. The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense he's tensed up next to you. Ooh. I know I couldn't get this last time because my perception wasn't that high, but I have like a 12, like a 13 perception. So I could actually get this. Try to see beyond the shadows. Ooh. What's happening? Ooh. it looks like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and is making its way towards you through all the shadows. Follow the shadow's movements. It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends. Officer, there is something up there. Is there something up there? Lieutenant follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is you're trying to see. Cake's ready, just gotta light the candles. Okay. I'll just message her. She'll get back to me in a second. Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go? On the ceiling? Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away. Okay, here we go. Ah, oh, it's cutting it. Oh, that's painful. There we go. Get this out of the way. Okay. Hey. Oh, it's okay. We don't need to sing. Okay. Can I don't know if the thing can see it because it's on such a delay. Whoop.
The wax is getting everywhere.
I'm aware.
Please blow out the.
I will blow out the candles. I can. Yep. They can see it. Cool. Well, thank you all for joining me for my birthday cake. The spectacular. Oh, alright, should we cut it up?
Yep.
Okay. You want me to block the camera or something?
Yes, please.
Right. Go for it.
Okay.
Okay. Alright. So, I guess that will be a thing for next time. Well, if there is a next time. My streaming stuff is a little bit irregular because of everything that's happening with COVID. You know, isolation, not isolation, distancing because kids home now and stuff like that. Wife's working from home, so that's why it's not the only reason why, but it does create some issues with trying to find like the time to do things. It's just, I'm sure people are going through different things as well with social distancing and everything like that. Probably a lot worse actually, considering the circumstances. But yeah, because we're social distancing, I've had to cancel all my birthday plans. And you know, the night came along and I was like, I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what to do. And this game is pretty special to me. It's a pretty awesome game to play, and I thought, why not? But I didn't want to just play the game by myself. So I did a stream and hope some people would join in. And the mysterious stranger that I know from real life joined me. So thank you very much. It's very nice that you're here and you've watched me play this game for what? Nearly 2.5 hours now. So that's pretty cool. Thank you. Blink. Oh, there he is. You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it? The shadow is a man? But a man made of the same stuff as the carpentry in the building. He is studying you intently. Hey, who's there? The man leans forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
I bet your alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry. Everything's gonna be alright. You've come to the right place.
The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of the bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
Hey, what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Sheesh. Yeah, I guess I have a bit of a problem and it's getting a bit out of hand lately, but I'm a policeman. I need to talk to you about the police things. I don't know anything about alcohol use. Oh, hell no!
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, eh? I can smell the control. All the way over here.
Okay, fine, I'm struggling, but I don't need you to lecture me. I know what I need to do. You don't know me? You know what it's like? There's something white pursuing me. White and very sad.
I was like you once. Just dragging my feet to the next bottle. Shit was dark, Holmes.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
It don't matter who I am, Way. I'm just bringing you the message of their mother's love. She don't want you to hang yourself on your own stubbornness.
I'll be receiving cake soon.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
Did you just climb down from the church tower? Sure did, Holmes. Are you human? You weren't moving like you were human. I am, at least in part, Holmes. Until the mother's love burns away the crude distinctions of my body. What does he mean in part? You sound like you're not from around here. Haven't you ever met a Mesk before? A cabron? Surprising number of us around in Revachol. What's Mesk? He thinks for a moment. You know, I'm not sure myself anymore. Don't really matter though. Well, at least you're human. That's a relief. Glad you're feeling more comfortable. First timers are always nervous. There must be something illegal about living in a church ceiling. I don't know yet, but there must be something. Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub. Let's get to the point. The ones in the tent outside, I've seen them. I think they're scared of me. Wait, did they have a reason to be scared? No, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't want to harm anyone anymore. Harm no one anymore anyway. Though he used to, a long time ago. So what do you think? About the nightclub, that is. Why not? It wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up here, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company. He said that in spite of himself, he's more attached to the human than he'd like to be, than he'd like to think. Do you know where the other spooker is? Point to the stranger machines around you. Other spooker? Oh, that's Spanish. O esa vieta muy estudiosa. He laughs. Don't know, Holmes. Wait, there is another person living here and it's a vieta. Vieta. Is it Vieta? No, I just call her Vieta because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. He scratches his head. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of those many masks we wear. Wait, what? What if it's Ruby? The lieutenant seems to be thinking the same. He takes out his little notebook. Did it ever seem to you like she was hiding here from something? You mean like a fugitive? He glances at the abandoned radio computer on the other side of the nave, pulsing with light, then he shakes his head. Nah, man. Quite the opposite. I don't think she cares much about authority or about anything else for that matter. Maybe only about her machines. I see. The lieutenant seems contented with the answer. And where is she now? I told you, Holmes. I don't know. Right, thanks. How can you not know if you both live here? I don't really know her comings and goings. Just see her typing on the computer now and then. We've got different interests, so you've got nothing else to tell me. How she looks, what she does, who she is? I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back or search for her radio computer. What are you doing here? This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up here, a way out into nothingness. He nods towards the ceiling. This church was built around it, for purpose of veneration. I circle it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. Cake.
I grabbed you the best plate.
Thank you very much. Still got my hat? Still got my hat. Cool. Wait, this way. There we go. Thank you very much. Cake. If the mic picks it up, this could be like an extra ASMR segment. I circle it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink it from it directly. Who's this mother of silence you keep talking about? Well, that's no simple answer, Essay. Well, question, Essay. She is one who can't be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark, beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes. No one ever will. His adoration is beyond sexual. This cavity is something that no human form has.
What?
What? It's what electrochemistry is thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. More cake.
It's too dense.
The cake is dense.
Make a cake, I'm
No, I like it. It's good. What will happen if you drink from this perforation? I will be incinerated, but not destroyed, finally at one with the state of the world before reality began. You sure you didn't just switch one drug for another? It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service. Too gleeful, those words. He is lying, not to you, to his own very self. Hey, not judging, I've got drug problems myself. I can see, and it saddens me, but devotion can save you, it saved me. Let's agree to disagree. I was being insensitive. Sorry, let's move on. I don't know. Maybe I should leave this guy alone. Eat it slow? Nathan's still there. I just said his name. Yeah.
You outed him.
I outed him as I outed him. Now the internet will know his name.
I don't think you should leave this guy alone.
Shouldn't. He's not affected by it. He just said, I know it'll take time, don't sweat it.
Break.
I still don't understand what you're doing in the church. I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. You should sing for me. I'm the superstar cop. I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing is silent, as the mother. Yeah, cake. Okay. Did you suffer some singing tragedy? That seems to really upset you, but you said you didn't really remember your past. Besides, things come back in flashes when something reminds me, sometimes they even seem important again, really important. But then, thanks to Mother, they're gone again. But I was talking about the seeing of a burning heart. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. That's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound. How'd you find this place? Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now. It didn't belong to me. You've been here a long time. How'd you know the church was abandoned? Police raid a while back. His voice suddenly falls flat. Did you witness it? Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it. Mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything. Okay then, thanks. No, you're good.
Okay, good.
Okay. We have a few minutes until we call it a day. Cracked a pane of glass. A spider has spun its web around the wood-carved pillar. Oh, shoes! And money. Oh! Cool, shoes that give me empathy.
Only you had those in real life.
Yeah, only I had shoes in real life that gave me empathy. Oh, they're funky looking. I love them.
They're bowling shoes.
Oh, they're bowling shoes, you reckon?
They look like that.
Plus one empathy in someone else's shoes. Let's have a look around. Oh, this is the big thing. Someone's siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna. Stained glass window. In white, silver, and apricot faience? The young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced, sad, and dark, with radiant majesty. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel. Kneel. That was immediate. Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold, and there you kneel amongst the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from above the glass. Close your eyes. The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structures behind you, it covers you from the wind outside. The ocean feels distant, its ebbs and flow blocked by the centuries-old pine wood sarcophagus around you. Open your eyes. The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips, and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse? It's remorse. As that useless word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Do the same as you get up. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you raise from your knees into the apricot-coloured light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass. Wow, it's all broken. I can't do anything with these skills because I have such low intellect. Who is this, Kim? It's Dolores Day, he says in a hushed tone. The old woman was right. This is a DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez. Or the small Pinewood Church in some records. You know of this place? It's a minor landmark. It's not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. He lowers his voice. It was built not long after Ravershaw's founding, 300 or so years ago, by the first-generation settlers. What else do you know? There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Septiors, they call them. Les 7 Sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the Revolution, or used for building materials. We should be respectful here. Although the building appears to be deserted, I do not believe we'll find the instigator here. Something else, perhaps. He looks at the machinery lying around. A pang of guilt? The lieutenant is leaving something out. Do you know why it was abandoned? I have a theory. Yes. There's a pause, then he continues. Thought I heard a cat.
Sorry.
There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here. Who conducted this raid? Well, your station was involved, I hear, although I can't be sure. You're not sure? 3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them. I guess I could have been here. I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. There's a pause. It was a clandestine operation. I didn't know anything about it, why it was conducted or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters. If I was here, I should find out what I was doing. Better to forget about it. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to try and do the skill points, the skill checks now. So I'll do the encyclopedia one first. I don't think I have any more encyclopedia-related things. I only have the hat. Visual calculus. Not looking like I have it. Drama, logic, conceptualization. Alright, and then I'm just gonna... Oops. Blast some smokes. Here we go. Yes! Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her Innocence Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being to have ever lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the delusion and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men. Okay, what exactly... Oh, this is some really big world-building stuff they give you here. I'll try and breeze through it as much as I can, because it can be a little bit too much. The highest category of a historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit. A ruler? More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a president that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate innocentric rule. They try to start throwing around a lot of new political terms as well in this game, which I thought was really interesting. How they actually try to kind of reinvent a lot of terminology that we would use in widespread political theory. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions, they are inevitabilities. One would have happened anyway, only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. And innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office. Is one in office now? No, we are alone. Okay, when did she rule? 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulandian, by explorers of the continent of Mundi. She is, among the other things, the innocence of the intersolary travel and the connected world. What else do I know about her? Many things. You know, she is a woman of the court, a wife of the influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene Le Nagavateur, Queen of Surence, modern day Sir the Clef. Also, that she was gorgeous beyond beauty. Okay, what else? Was she smart? Terribly. Women of the court were expected to play both contact bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A similar grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state, a scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous. How come? It was on her advice that Irene La Nagavateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale, a costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history, the DeLorean era. Wow. Wow indeed. When her innocence was declared and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. I want more, as did we all. The lands of Mesk and the Occident, and the even faraway Supramundi, altogether 21 of the 40 mondial nations of the time immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning. Her crowning? In a city called, Advesperasit. In Vesper Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes. But it happened on a winter's morning with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied out plaza with the crowd far away. Already her Therias, secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt. She must have been beautiful. Oh yes. She looked like humanity's younger mother, perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of under feathers. You know this well, very well. Mid-winter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Therias placed a gold-white wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by Secret Servicemen. Then what? One of the men in the Secret Service killed her 22 years later, a young man who had come to suspect Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else. What? Something that had walked in our midst, something watching us, stumbled for centuries, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the Innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes while on duty he observed her forgetting to breathe for almost 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many individuals as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology. Was there something terrifying about her? Terrifying is a term too, emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to have ever lived, there was something ominous about Dolores Day, constantly surrounded by her Therias. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the Innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal by the campaign she waged against the Mesk state. And then there was the resettlement programs. What happened? The Mesk state tried to detach itself from Innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Magritte were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb. An icon. In icons such as this, she was also blonde, the blondest woman you could have ever seen, with green eyes the color of Pesantic Mar Interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband, as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention but feel when they think of her. Lieutenant Yefrita, you stood there for over 5 minutes. The lieutenant's calm voice echoes in the cold air of the church. What were you thinking of, if I may ask? Glowing lungs. That's fucked up. She's beautiful. She's not human. War criminal. She's somehow connected to the case. Nothing, just looking around. She's beautiful. That she is. A great sacral piece. I wonder what we're doing here, however. He takes his glasses to clean them. In the church, I mean. The coast in general. We shouldn't linger. This isn't a place to get lost in. Okay. We reached the 3-hour mark. I think we'll call it there. I'd like to thank those who stopped in for a little bit. I'd like to thank the mysterious stranger, also known as Nathan, that stopped by the stream. Yeah, it's been nice. It's been nice to do this. I hope in the future I'll get to do more streams like this, and hopefully more people will pop in. But I'm still glad I did this. I had fun, reading through all the dialogue and stuff like that. I think games like this work really well with how I stream. I got to kind of play around and stuff like that, be a bit more involved with the game by telling everything that's said and putting voices and stuff like that, making it more animated. So I really liked it. I am working on a video for this game. It's seriously, this game is amazing, and I can't wait to gush about it in my next video. So yeah, thank you very much for joining. Share this video. Like, comment. You can comment, subscribe, all that sort of good stuff. And I guess I'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by.